Woohoo! It is windy. 20 gusting 30 right across the runway.
Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to be battling 20 to 30 knot crosswinds in order to make a special delivery. That's right, it's this little fella's birthday, and we're going to drop off a brand new bicycle for him. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's do it. All right, welcome aboard, everybody, to the cockpit of the Cessna 425, also known as the Cessna Conquest 1. Cessna's twin turboprop was built back in 1981, still going strong, especially with the Garmin upgrades. And I'm just going to adjust my seat here. I'm sure most of you pilots out there have a special position for your seat that allows you to make silky smooth landings every single time. And we're going to get ready to fly the RNAV approach. This is going to be straight in from that waypoint Vilmi there. And they only have one runway at this airport, so unfortunately, if the winds aren't in your favor, you just have to deal with the crosswind. And if you haven't noticed, you can see the runway on the Garmin Synthetic Vision, which means we are getting ready to land. So we're going to do our BB Gumps check. That's my flow check for landing. I'm going to get the landing gear down. And I talk a lot about the flow check that I do in most of my videos. I do that in addition to the actual checklist to make sure that I've confirmed that the landing gear is down and that everything's set up for landing. Gives me peace of mind. We got the Peace River Valley off to the left and the runway straight ahead. You cannot complain about the weather today. We got great visibility. It's a little bit cold out, but the only thing is the crosswind, which is going to get more significant as we cross the waypoint app keys, which is our final approach fix. And it's at this point that we start hitting the bumps. Obviously, we've got a little bit of turbulence from crossing the valley there, and as we get closer to the ground, that crosswind is going to become more significant. It's only about 15 knots right now. I'm going to run the aircraft checklist one more time here, make sure we are set up for landing. And of course, I'm going to run the BB Gumps check one more time. Belts, brakes, landing gear, undercarriage, mixture, props, and switches. And by switches, I mean making sure your landing light's on, your taxi light, your anti-collision light, and everything's ready to go for landing. Now, my brother's flying the plane right now, but I'm going to take over here shortly and finish this approach. We're approaching at 135 knots, by the way, and we're going to slow up to about 120, and then when we're about half-mile final to about 110 to cross the numbers at 105. And before we land, I want to give a shout out to Flying Eyes. I absolutely love their sunglasses. They are made for pilots, by pilots, and they're pretty much my go-to sunnies from now on. If you want to pick up a pair, you can use my discount code EvanLuff to save yourself 10%. You have my recommendation there. Really great sunnies, so check them out. All right, so back to the landing. You can see the runway straight ahead there, and the guy on the ground is reporting 21 knots crosswind from the right. You can see on the G600 there, it's showing 23 knots. So when you do a crosswind landing, as you can see, our nose is pointed to the right, and that's because we're crabbing into the wind in order to maintain our center line. However, as soon as we get over the runway, we're going to add some left rudder to straighten the nose out. We're going to bank to the right, and the first wheel to touch down is going to be the right main landing gear, and then the left, and then we'll lower the nose to make a silky smooth touchdown, hopefully. Now on short final, we do our last checklist here: gear, props, flaps, make sure we have clearance to land, and then check that the landing gear is down again. Now we don't need a clearance to land here because it's not a controlled airport, but it does have a mandatory frequency, so we just need to let them know that we are short final. Now at this point, I have the airplane slowed up to about 120 knots, like I was saying before, and then when we cross the runway threshold, we should be at about 105. And when we come over the runway, I'm going to add a little bit of left rudder right there. We're banked to the right slightly. Touch down the right wheel first, then the left, and then lower the nose. So that there is, not to brag, but I think, in my opinion, a picture-perfect crosswind landing. It doesn't always end that way, but today I nailed it. Thank you. Give myself a little pat on the back. And I haven't even used the brakes yet because once you touch down and get the propellers into beta range, the four-blade props create so much drag that the aircraft slows up really, really quickly. And we're going to turn around here and backtrack to exit the runway. And at these smaller airports, usually park right out front of the terminal. As you can see, there's no other airplanes here, so you can basically park wherever you want. And we're going to shut down, fuel control heaters off, avionics off, generators off, and pull the fuel off, and then feather the props.
It looks a little weird. It's a blasting out there.
I don't want to spoil the sound of those PT6s as they shut down. I know a lot of you love that sound.
We made it. We can kiss the ground now. Luft air finally got you there.
All right, so the reason we came up here was for this little fella's birthday. And everybody on board the aircraft are some good family friends. So we thought, why not fly up here and deliver his birthday gift in style? That's right, he's getting a brand new bike. I can't remember the last time someone bought me a new bike. So I think he's going to be pretty happy, especially since he gets to take it for a test spin out on the ramp. You want to make sure he doesn't run into the airplane. Bumping your head into the wing is bad for your health. It's also bad for the aircraft.
It's a little bit tall for you.
Yeah, that smile says it all. Kale and I are going to do a little coffee cheers. And now we need to figure out how to get off the airport property. This gate that we thought we could go out has a padlock on it, so we're going to have to find another way out. Now, for those of you who are new pilots looking to land your first flying job, I recently posted a video you can check out on my channel that gives you some important tips on how to get that first flying job opportunity. And if you're curious about becoming a pilot and wondering what the process is like, check out the videos on my channel where I explain the private pilot's license from start to finish. I even get into the costs of getting that license. Thanks everyone for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Maybe leave a comment down in the comments section. Share the video. Really appreciate the support. And we'll see you all on the next flying adventure. Happy and safe flying, everybody. Bye-bye.